back to GaonaLive. We're still hanging out with the incredible Shanti Lo, and just love your journey back in the day, which is what you took us into just before the break. Now I'd like us to get into your musical journey. The release of your first album onto the second one. Let's just get into that.
First of all, I've always created music as it comes. I don't try to be technical. I don't try to sound like anyone. I try as much as I can to allow myself to be that vessel that I believe to be. So I create based on that. I just listen to whatever comes to my heart and my head, and I try to get it out as best as I can.
And where do you get the inspiration though?
I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't know. And that is a very honest answer, because I don't know what should have happened for me to get an idea to create a song. What I do know though is that there's no time to it. There's no time frame to it. There is no particular one trigger. I could be doing this interview now and a sound comes, and well, if I don't let it out because I'm doing this or that, then much later with it, if it comes back, and if it doesn't, another will. Do you understand?
Absolutely. So do you just get a melody
yes.
in your head and wow, it totally fascinates
Pretty
you?
much. Pretty much. And it sounds like, it's a melody. I can hear the words, but they're very faint. And as it keeps repeating in my head, it's like the music comes closer and closer and closer to me. So I believe that there's a certain channeling that needs to take place as well for that to actually happen. I was describing it to a friend of mine the other day, and I said, it sounds like a party down the street, down the road, and you don't know the house number, but you're drawing closer and closer to the noise. That's how it feels.
I can imagine. And the thing about you again is that when you get on stage, you just light up and this other person is born. Let's talk about your stage performance and presence.
Oh well.
Okay, yes.
I'm laughing because I thought of the Sasha Fierce.
That's exactly what thank you very much. I actually thought of Sasha Fierce, but I was like, okay, I'm not gonna
I didn't want to use it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much the same thing. You do get into this space where you are completely oblivious to everything and anything around you, and you just have to let something out. That's exactly how it feels. And at that point, you're not conscious of your makeup, you're not conscious of what, it just comes, and you get lost in it. That's pretty much what happens. You're not conscious of time, you're not conscious of the people around you. Yeah.
Do you have any particular ritual or rituals that you do, prior to going on stage? Do you meditate? Or do you just jump on stage and Sasha Fierce comes out?
It helps to quieten myself, and I believe that yes, that is some kind of meditation. I try as much as possible not to get stressed before a performance, because I'm going to take that onto the stage. It's very, very important for me to be clean and clear-headed before I actually get on stage, because it's very sacred. It's a very sacred space that by now my manager of 12 years knows that space, he'll do anything for it to not get contaminated before I actually get on stage. And I was not conscious of it as a performer earlier on, but I find that as I grow older and become more conscious of self, that it becomes more and more prominent, and I learn more and more about what it is, because I'm getting to know more and more about who I am.
Absolutely, self-awareness
Yeah.
and actualization. And speaking of you having a manager for the last 12 years, let's talk about personal branding as an artist. You seem to treat your brand with so much respect. I think something about your brand is that it's very consistent. You will not come across Shanti Lo, Shanti Lo is Shanti Lo, wherever it is that you come across Shanti Lo. So let's just talk about branding, this consistency even with your stage presence and that kind of thing.
I think it's good to base a brand on really your true self. Listen, when I started out as a performer and as a singer, I didn't know anything about branding. I just knew that I wanted things a certain way. That's what it was, and that I was gonna go through all lengths to make sure that I did things in that particular way. And I learned along the way that that is a very big part of what branding is about.
Absolutely.
But a brand for me won't work if you're not true to yourself. That's number one. And secondly, I respect it. Yes, it is true. I respect it so much because my audience has afforded me that brand. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So it is my way of giving back to them to say thank you for thinking that I'm worthy enough and I'm relevant enough for you to listen to.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very big thing for me.
Totally. And what you've also done with musically has seen you exploring the world. Let's talk about your travels and all that has come as a result of you and as an artist.
I have this dream. It's a recurring dream. I sometimes dream of places before I get to those places. And I dream of a street sometimes. And I don't know what part of the world that street is. And I dream that I'm in the sky and I'm flying, and I know that there's a place that I need to go to. So, yes, I've been lucky enough to realize that dream. Lucky because it wasn't necessarily my own doing. Somebody out there, or the powers that be somewhere, found it necessary to take me there. They realized it was time for me to go there. So yes, I have traveled a bit. I would like to travel a bit more. I've been to Europe. I've performed in places like Sweden, Germany, Ireland. I've been to Upper Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Asia, Japan, Cuba. Been to a number of places, all through the art and because of the art. And I think it's such a big honor, really. It's very humbling for me, and I'd like to do more of it.
And let's quickly go to a break and catch Shanti right after. And